do one last tour, and that's the reason that we're here, man, is to come and to really be able to just look you in the eyes and say thank you to everyone that ever cared, to everybody that ever bought a shirt or a CD, or just believed in what we were trying to do. We are so grateful to God. We are so grateful for every single one of you guys being here, man, and believing in this thing. If we did this right, then this thing can be a lot bigger than for today. You know, this message that we've carried for 10 years, this gospel of hope, this gospel of justice, this gospel of truth that we preach as we preach the blood and the cross of Jesus. This message is so much bigger than us, man. It was around long before us, and it's going to remain around long after us. So we're grateful for any fans or family or support that we've gotten, but I believe that what we've really been sent here to get is an army of people that'll take this message, this truth of Jesus, to the ends of the earth, man. That'll take this message outside of those doors and will shine the light of God's truth and the light of the gospel into a world that so desperately needs it. So I'm grateful that it's not just been the five of us, but that we stand here with a room full of people that carry that same flame inside of them and are never going to hide it. So this song is for all my revolutionaries out there, Pittsburgh. I need you to give me more. I need you to give me more. Let's go. Jesus can set you free from suicide, and man, I believe that now more than I've ever believed it in my life. But I need to explain from my own story, man. I remember what it feels like to not be able to break the chains of addiction off of my own life. I remember what it feels like to sit all day and contemplate suicide. I remember what it feels like to be sitting in a doctor's office, having him ask questions and try to figure out what's going on in me because this depression has gotten so significant that I can't function anymore. I remember what this feels like. And I couldn't have articulated it at the time, but my real issue, the reason that I couldn't get out of depression and the reason that I couldn't stop thinking about suicide is because the real issue is that I felt guilty. It's because I knew just how crooked and perverse I was. I knew the mistakes that I made that nobody else ever saw. I knew the thoughts that came into my head that nobody else ever heard. I knew the depth of my own brokenness, and I was so ashamed of myself that I thought nobody could ever love me. I thought the world would be a better place if I took my own life. And it's because, if I could boil it down to one thing, it's because I was guilty. And the truth is this, that I was guilty. It wasn't just the way that I felt, it's the truth. And so the reality of my issue is that my primary issue is not depression. My primary issue is sin. And I was so aware of my own sin, so aware of my own dirtiness that I hated myself for it. But then one day I found out that there's good news for sinners like me. It is that the Bible says that he that knew no sin became sin so that I through him might become the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. It says that he bore my sin on himself when he hung on that cross. He took my sin, he took my guilt and all the brokenness and the shame and the self-hatred that came with it. He took it on his own shoulders when he hung there, and he bled and he died for my sake. And so listen, I don't know what it looks like in your life, man. I don't know if you struggle with depression like I did. I don't know if you struggle with addiction like I did. I don't know if you think about killing yourself like I did. But I bet there's not anybody in this room that would be so arrogant as to claim that you're not guilty of sin. But the good news that I have to tell you is this: though you are guilty of sin, you don't have to stay guilty of sin. Because Jesus can make you free. Jesus can make you innocent. Jesus can make you new in a moment if you would let him. That's the message of this gospel I preached all over the world for 10 years. It's very singular. Jesus came to save sinners, and that's what he's doing. That's what he's done on this stage in our lives, and that's what he can do in your life tonight if you would let him.